Good morning. Welcome to our Hatha flow. Make sure you have your props nearby, especially the strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, grab hold of a tie or a belt or a tea towel, anything that you can use to loop around your foot. We're going to be started on the ground lying down today, so you can get yourself in position as well. Have the strap nearby because we'll be starting with some strap work. And yeah, enjoy. So I will make my way to my mat. If you have any other props that you might need or use, cushions or pads for under the knees or blocks or bolsters, go for it. And I'll meet you on the mat. All right. So we'll start lying down here. Find a comfortable position. Perhaps to adjust to the earth, you need to keep your knees bent at first, and then you can let them fall in towards each other to support each other. And let that pelvis settle. You can close your eyes or soften your eyes. Place your hands wherever they fall naturally. Maybe on the earth beside you, palms up, or maybe you want to feed yourself and place them on the heart or the abdomen or both. And you can feel yourself start to drop into the earth, drop into the room. Drop into your body and into your breath. A reminder to move with your body, move with your breath. On your mat, you're collaborating. You're not fighting, not battling, not pushing. You take the cues and messages from your body to go forward or to hang back, staying in a pain-free range of motion. If something isn't working, you go back a step or find a comfortable position. Start to come to the breath and just watch it. Watch it as it fills and releases. As you continue watching, noticing the breath, you can gently guide it to become longer on the exhales. Perhaps as you breathe in for 3, you breathe out for 6. Elongating those exhales to eventually become double time. Double the amount of time that it takes to inhale. And notice the effect on your body. Sometimes our practice feels like a nice break in the middle of a busy day. I encourage you to think about this pause, this productive pause. Does it feel like your body really needs those pauses? I bet it does. Are there other ways you can pause through the day? And on a bigger scale, when things get overwhelming, how are ways you can put things on pause or simplify and still hang back, knowing that it's a productive pause? It's not a retreat. We're not going back. We're not even ignoring or pressing fast forward. Today we'll look at pauses on our mats, productive ones. Maybe think of more ways to bring that very useful pause into our life, our conversations and conflicts, into our days. Bring the arms up overhead, bend both knees, and do some windshield wipers side to side here. Next time your knees come over to the right, let them fall all the way to the earth. And just really fill up that left side of the body from the fingertips all the way down through the hip and the knee. If you wanted to take this further, you could hook the right heel on top of the left knee to pin it down and take a few more breaths. And then back up to center and over to the left. And let that breath elongate the right side from the fingertips to the knee. Again, if you wanted to take it further, you could hook the left heel on top of the right knee to pin it down. Beautiful. And back to center. And then hug those knees in towards the chest. And do a few rocks side to side, maybe some circles. Massage out the low back. We're going to keep the right knee in towards us, stretch the left leg out along the mat, and just say good morning to that right hip. The left leg may or may not reach the ground, and you could find that happy balance by drawing the knee closer or bringing it a little further away, maybe a little to the left and a little to the right. And then we'll switch and go over to the left side, right leg elongates. Find that happy balance between the groundedness of the lower body, but also the stretch of that left hip joint. Maybe a little to the left and a little to the right. You can explore there. Now we're going to build a little bit of heat. Draw the right knee in again. Stretch that left leg out. This time it can come to the floor or it stays at about a 30 to 45 degree angle off the floor. And we're going to pick up our head and our shoulders, nose towards the knee. For a little bit extra, you can reach those arms forward towards the toes and hold here. Pause. Keep breathing though. Draw the abdomen in. And for the last 6, we can maybe even pulse. Coming up 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hug both in. Stretch the right leg out. Left knee stays here. We pick up the head and the shoulders. Maybe we reach the arms towards the toes. And we pause. Draw those ribs down. Draw the belly button down to the earth. There might be a little bit of shaking. And then for the last 6, we might pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hug it in. Nice. We're going to do that again, but a little bit quicker. We're going to do more of a bicycle. So drawing in the right knee and then the left. So let's go for 10 and left and 9. Beautiful. Getting a little bit of heat through those legs, definitely through the core. Nice. You could hug those knees in, or you could reach the arms out for the last 4, the last 3, 2. And then after this last one, we're going to pause and keep that left knee in, stretch the right leg out, reach, reach, reach. Pause. You've got it. And hug it in. And now, just as you hoped, we get to do that one more time, this time starting with the left knee, and we get to pause at the end on the right. Got to make everything balanced, right? So reach that right leg out, hug the left knee in, and we switch. Beautiful. So we've got 7, 6, 5. Nice work. Maybe you reach those arms out. So we've got 2 more on each leg. And after this last one, right knee stays in. We stay up here. Beautiful. Draw that belly button down towards the earth. And hug it in. Nice work. Take the knees and the hands and make circles away from each other on the ceiling. Beautiful. And the other direction. Nice. And now bring the feet to the earth. Keep the knees bent. We'll grab those belts that we had nearby, or tea towel or tie. And we're going to take it around the right ball of the foot. Press the foot up to the sky so that it becomes about 90 degrees with the earth. If that already feels strenuous, take it away from you a little bit. Let those hips settle. And then as the muscles start to soften, you can start to bring it closer towards that 90-degree angle. Press the foot into the belt and draw that belt down towards the earth. You might stretch the left leg out along the earth. And hold here. Very nice. Keep pressing out through that foot, out through the heel. If it can come closer, you could start to draw it a little closer towards the face, as long as the knee can stay extended and both hips feel equal on the earth. And a little closer, saying good morning to the hamstring, even if it's not morning. And then take that away from you and switch feet. So bring the right foot to the ground, bend the right knee, bring that left ball of the foot into the strap, press out through the foot, take it away from you a little bit to let both hips ground, draw that belt and that leg down into the earth and find your position. Maybe the right leg stretches out along the floor too. You may notice a difference in the legs, and we acknowledge it. We don't attach any stories or judgment towards it. We just say, oh, that's interesting. How curious. Let's see if we can bring some more balance. Keep pressing out through that heel. Nice. And one more breath here. Beautiful. Release that, and you can do some windshield wipers. Place that belt to the side. Now we're coming back to some core, back to some fire. This time you could stay with those initial ones, or you can come to straight legs. So we're going to stretch that right leg up. You can keep the left knee bent or stretch it along the floor. Inhale, reach up and away from you towards the toes, head and shoulders off the floor. And we hold it here. Draw the belly button in. Press that foot up towards the sky. And then hug it in. Let's try the left leg. Left leg comes up, right foot either to the earth or stretched out in front. Let's pick up head and shoulders, reach towards the toes. A little more challenging with that straight leg. Beautiful. And hug it in. And just as you might suspect, now we get to switch the legs and go for a walk on the ceiling. You could bring the hands to the earth or even maybe wedge the thumbs underneath the sacrum. Draw the belly button in, draw those ribs down, and let's go for a walk. We alternate left and right. Beautiful. For 10. Nice work. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there. 3, 2 more. And 1 to each side. Hug it in. Make some circles. And come into a happy baby pose, taking the outer edges of the feet, drawing the knees down, and just letting those knees fall towards the earth, Maybe rocking back and forth. Pause. You can release the feet and rock and roll up towards seated or turn to the side and press yourself up and come over onto hands and knees. Feeling that fire through the core, feeling the legs activated, the hips alive and awake. Press the hands into the earth, knees under the hips. And 5 times we come into cat and cow. Inhaling, opening the front body, and exhaling, opening the back body. Beautiful. Continue that. Making as much movement, recruiting as many muscles as you need to, as you want to create this undulation of the spine. Beautiful. Do one more of those. And then come back to neutral. Set the hands, curl the toes under, come into your first downward facing dog of the practice. Remember, if down dog isn't your cup of tea, you can always do a puppy pose with the knees on the floor, or even child's pose. Get yourself into position and lengthen those arms away from you in whichever position you've taken. Pause. And then slowly start to walk the feet up towards the hands. Come into a forward fold. Take a moment here to shake out the head, shake out the neck. And slowly come all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Here we go into our standing flow. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen the body. Exhale, fold forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. So I know we often look to the breath as that beautiful flow between two opposites. This time, can you see the pause in between the breaths? That moment between the transition where you take the reflective pause. Next, inhale, hands to shins or thighs, look up halfway, lengthen. Feel that pause, exhale, release. Feel that pause. 2 more of those. Lengthen up. Feel the wave of the spine. Just get into the movement of your body. Last time. Beautiful. Hands to the earth, step back into a plank pose. Draw the abdomen towards the sky. Draw those ribs down towards the hips. Lengthen out through the top of the head and neck long. Spine from head to tail, as long as it can be. Everything drawing into the middle. Every finger on the earth, every knuckle on the earth. Beautiful. Pausing there, very productive, a core pause, and then knees to the earth. 3 times, shoulder flow. Exhale, hips come back. Inhale, we drag the nose forward and press up. 2 more. Beautiful. 1 more. And then come all the way down to the earth. Hands off the earth. Draw those elbows in. Inhale, head, chest, Shoulders come up off the ground. Exhale down. Baby cobra, no hands. Inhale up and down. 2 more. Last one, hold it up there. Squeeze those elbows towards you. Roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through the head and neck. And press into the toes and the tops of the feet. For 3, for 2, for 1. Place the hands to the earth. Curl the toes under and come into your down dog or your child's or your puppy pose. Start to walk towards the front of the mat and fold. Come all the way up to standing. And we fold again. Beautiful. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips to the ground this time. If you need some blocks for your low lunge, you can grab them, or a pad for the back knee. We're going to bring that left leg back behind you and bring that left knee down onto your pad, onto a folded blanket, a folded mat. And we come to our low lunge. Hands come to the back of the pelvis as we tip ourselves up off that front thigh. Find your stability by drawing those legs in towards each other. And now let's hug it all in. Draw the elbows back behind you. Expose your heart center. Strengthen the core. Drop everything into the midline. Even come out of that pose a little. Exhale. Let the hips fall forward and down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Beautiful. We're going to hold here and press down into the pelvis as you lift the heart up. Imagine you can lengthen the spine even more, increasing the distance between each vertebrae just by a tiny little micrometer. For the last 2 breaths, maybe you reach those arms all the way up. And then hands come to the earth. Pick up that back knee, step back into your plank pose. Beautiful. This time, come down onto your elbows in your plank pose. And we're just going to do a little bit of twisting here. So as we inhale, we'll be coming to one side. So dipping those hips. As you exhale, up to the center. And to the other side, and back to the center. We'll go for 5 more on each side. Really feel those side bodies help you come back up and control the descent. Very nice. 3 more to each side. We've got this. Dip, dip, dip. Beautiful. Last one to each side. Nice. And now let that pelvis come down to the earth. Flip the feet over, come into a sphinx. You might need to walk the elbows forward a little bit. And make sure the arms look like number 11s. Palms flat on the earth. Every single finger still in contact with the earth. Draw the shoulders on the back. And again, expose that heart. Pause. Lengthen through the spine. Again, imagine being able to create a little bit of extra space between the vertebrae as you draw the heart forward and away from the pelvis. Nice. Release to the earth, hands under the shoulders, and come into your down dog. Beautiful. And then left foot's going to step forward. And the right knee is going to come down to the earth. And then hands to the back of the pelvis, fingertips pointing down. We draw those legs towards each other for stability. We roll the shoulders on the back, elbows towards each other. Squeeze those legs in towards the midline. Exhale, lunge. And keep up that flow. Little bit of muscle energy. And then we surrender. One more time. And now in this low lunge, with the heart open, we press down through that pelvis and lift up through the heart. Nice. Feeling stable, grounded through the front foot and the back knee. For the last 2 breaths, if you want, arms can reach up to the sky. And then the fingertips to the earth, pick up that back knee and step to the front of the mat. Release into your forward fold. Let's bend the knees nice and deep. Come deep into an Utkatasana chair pose. Hands at the heart. Draw those ribs down, connect to your core, and then sink deeper into your heels. Think of that string at the top of your head being drawn up and slightly forward, just to keep that spine nice and long. You've got 2 opposing forces, the grounding nature from the hips down and the lifting nature from the hips up. Beautiful. Come a little deeper. And if you'd like, for the last 2 breaths, you can reach those arms forward or up. Beautiful. Come all the way to standing and exhale, fold. Nice work. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips to the earth. Right leg steps back. This time, stay on those toes in this runner's lunge here. Beautiful. If you're ready to go on, fingertips come off the floor, but the body stays in line with that back leg. So a long line from head to heel. Maybe the arms come back behind you like wings, palms facing up to the sky. Roll those shoulders back. Ground into that front foot, all 4 corners, press back through the back heel. And now with that energy, draw the abdomen off the thigh, but keep on that angle, stay on that angle. Beautiful. Maybe for the last 2 breaths, you can reach the arms out in front of you in a ready pose. You're still at an angle, but now there's a long line from fingertips out through that right heel. Beautiful. Now bring the fingertips to the earth. This one's the trickiest. You're going to plant those hands down and see, can you lift that left heel up, but keep that left knee in towards the chest. Pause for 3, 2, one, and reach back. Nice work. Top one. Come all the way down to the earth. Coming back into Sphinx Pose, elbows under the shoulders. If you'd like to go further this time, you can angle the hands out and straighten the arms into seal, but keep drawing that heart forward. Keep expanding through the upper body, lengthening. Beautiful. Come all the way down and downward dog. Nice. Whatever position you choose here, it feels like home. To reset. Another productive pause. Next inhalation. Look up to the front of the mat. Exhale, step that right foot forward and come to your runner's lunge on this side. If you need blocks, that helps as well. Strengthen that back leg. Make sure the front knee is right over that front ankle, not beyond it. And then the body becomes parallel or slightly angled towards the ground. Now, with that energy of the legs, we draw it into the core and reach those hands off the ground. Maybe from there, arms come back behind us like wings, palms facing up. And then last step, or last two steps, we can draw that abdomen off the front thigh without bringing our body all the way up. Just really connecting to that core. Hold here, feeling that long line of energy from the head to the heel. And maybe, just maybe, for the last few breaths, we can reach the arms out in front in ready pose. Keep that abdomen drawing in. Keep those legs strong. Beautiful. Fingertips come to the earth. Plant those hands. And again, we're going to lift that right foot up and keep that right knee in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it back into a plank. Beautiful. And come all the way down. Come back into your Sphinx or your seal. And then downward facing dog. So we're going to come into side plank here for a little bit of a change. There's a few options for side plank. So we're going to take the left hand to the middle of the mat and spin onto the outer edge of the left foot. Now you could come into a supported side plank with that left knee to the earth. You could keep that left leg straight, but still support with a kickstand and bend that right leg, right foot to the earth. You could stagger the right and left feet, or you can stack. Just draw that waist up to the sky and maybe even gaze up there. You could also gaze down towards that left hand. Beautiful. Come back to center. Reset in your home pose. Same thing, other side. Right hand comes to the middle of the mat. You choose which position, either knee on the floor or with a kickstand or feet staggered or stacked. And come into your side plank on this side. Even though our bodies are paused, they're working, and our breath keeps going. And then release the hands down and come back to your down dog or recovery pose. Look up to the front of the mat, step, walker, hop forward, and fold. Bend the knees nice and deep, and come to your chair pose. Coming to a little squatting interlude, come all the way up, and you can set yourself up. So if squatting isn't your most favorite thing in the world for your knees or your hips, you can always have something to catch you behind you. The feet are going to come hip width or wider, hands at the heart or at the hips, and we start to bend the knees nice and deep until we come to wherever we'd like to be. So either sitting on that prop or the hips come down right all the way. Hands at the heart. Beautiful. Let those hips drop or melt into your prop or your cushion, or you may even be just in a low goddess squat. Beautiful. One more breath here. See if you can open that heart a little more. And then fingertips to the earth and bring those hips up. Forward fold. Look up halfway, lengthen. And exhale, fingertips to the earth. Left leg steps back behind you. And we come down on that left knee again. We'll bring both hands to the inner edge of that right leg and start to melt down into a lizard pose. Really getting into those hips. The elbows may come all the way down to the earth or to a prop. And then press yourself back up. Pick up that back knee and step back to a plank pose. This time you can come down onto the abdomen and either come into seal or sphinx or maybe even cobra. Pressing the hands into the earth, starting to draw those shoulder blades on the back, pulling the heart forward and up. And then recovery pose. Into down dog. Lift the left leg up off the ground, reach it high. Exhale, knee towards the nose. Hold it, pause there. And then can you place that foot down onto the mat? If it doesn't come all the way between the hands, you can help it those last few inches. And then drop that right knee to the earth, both hands to the inside edge of that left leg. And bend the elbows, lizard pose. Maybe the elbows just bend. Maybe they come to a prop or all the way to the earth. And then slowly press back up. Plant the hands on either side of that left foot. Pick up that back knee and step back again to plank. Beautiful. Come all the way down. Do your favorite heart opener. And then back into recovery again. Curl the toes under if you weren't already. Come to downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, pause, keep it there. And then see if that foot can come to the earth between the hands or almost between the hands. Beautiful. Spin that back heel down. Come into a warrior two pose. Heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Front knee bent to about 90 degrees. Back leg straight and strong. Pushing out through that back edge of the foot. And arms spread wide. Beautiful. Front elbow comes to the thigh. Open the body to the side. Reach the left arm over the ear. Side angle pose, Parshvakonasana. Stretch out through both sides of the waist. And then let the arms come down and come back into a downward facing dog. Left foot steps between the hands. Warrior two on this side. Spin the right heel down. Come all the way up. Press out through the back edge of that back foot. Bend through the left knee. Gaze over the front fingertips. Feel long and strong. Front elbow comes to the front thigh. Reach over with the right arm. Side angle, Parshvakonasana. And then hands come down. And we step forward to the front of the mat. Fold. Beautiful. Bend the knees nice and deep. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands to the heart, hands out front, or hands reaching up. Make sure you can see your toes a little bit past your knees. Lots of weight in the heels, lots of length through the spine, and softness through the face. For 3, for 2, and 1. Come all the way up. And pause here. Hands come down through the center. Come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Second set of squats. With or without your prop. Feet come to hip width apart or a little wider. Hands to the heart. Start to bend the knees in the same direction as the toes are facing. Dropping those hips down, bringing the elbows to the inside edges of the knees. Opening that heart. Beautiful. Now take the fingertips to the earth and just walk the fingertips as far forward as you can. Let go of the head and neck, curl through the spine. Get a nice stretch there. Walk the fingers back towards the feet. Start to lift up through the sit bones, straightening the legs. Turn the feet back towards parallel and come to a forward fold. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down and step back to a downward facing dog. So we've been kind of warming up our core here for a reason, getting into the hips, getting a little bit into the shoulders, all 360 degrees, so that we can do a little bit of play here. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, and sit those hips back. This may be where you stay. This may be your pose. Come into this rocket launcher. So from here, you either launch forward into a plank. You could try that a few times. So hips back, launch to a plank. One more time, hips back, and launch to a plank. And then you can take a break and watch the next step. Or you can start in that rocket launcher, look forward, and do a little hop. Some little bunny hops, little donkey kicks. So if that's your step, you can go forward, or you can do those rocket launchers one more time, 5 times. Look forward, bend the knees, hips back, and little hops, little hops, little hops. Nice. 2 more. Beautiful. And then come into a child's pose and rest for a moment. Just let everything go, soften. For the next step, you either stay with one of those or you come forward and you see if you can hop your feet up towards your hands. If possible, there may even be a little pause, maybe just that microsecond where you can hang out and defy gravity for a moment. So you can watch for a moment, make sure every finger, every knuckle is working into the ground. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees. And then maybe there's a hang and a hop. All right, let's try 3 to 5 of those on your own breath and time. Bend those knees and either hop or rocket lunge or come all the way forward. Beautiful. And once you're all done, drop those knees. This time we'll all come into puppy pose, walking those hands forward, keeping the hips above the knees, and letting the head and chest fall down between the arms. A little bit of play in our pause. Beautiful. Slowly make your way down to the earth, onto your abdomen, and shake out those hips. Nice work. Bring the right arm out to the side. Gaze to the left. Come on to the left fingertips, elbow up to the sky. Pick up that left leg and cross it towards the right, coming into broken wing. That leg may hang there. It might bend, foot to the floor. That left arm may stay there, or it might come behind the back, or might even come all the way to touch the right arm. And then back to center. And we'll go to the other side. Reach that left arm out, come up onto the right fingertips, elbow up to the sky. Pick up that right leg, sweep it towards the left. It may hang out there, it may bend, and bring the foot to the floor. Right arm may stay there, or it might come behind the back. Beautiful. Slowly come back to center, and then make your way, roll over onto your back. Once you get to your back again, let those hips settle down. And make sure you have that strap nearby again. We're going to start with just a number 4 pose here for the hips. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Open that right knee out to the right. Stay here. Or maybe you start to draw that left leg in towards you. Keep that right knee pressing outwards. That right foot is still alive and active. And both sides of the hips feel fairly even and grounded on the floor. Try not to round too much through the lower back, and more so folding through that hip joint. Release that left foot to the earth, uncross the legs. This time cross the left ankle over the right thigh, open that left knee to the left. You can stay here or draw that right knee in towards you, keeping that left knee pressed out to the left. And then slowly release that leg, uncross the legs. So we're going to come back to placing our right ball of the foot into our belt, reaching it up to the sky. And then that left leg can straighten if it wants. This may be a little bit more easy to access than at the beginning of class after having done a whole bunch of stuff. So just let that leg settle into the hip socket. If you don't have a belt or anything, you could always just hold behind the thigh. You might come closer. This time we're going to take it a little bit off track here. The first step will be taking that belt, both ends of the belt, into the left hand. You may even bend the right knee and take the knee in the left hand, but we're going to start to cross it over the body, keeping both shoulders on the floor, but that right hip can peel up off the floor as you come into a twist here. And then slowly all the way back up to center. And then take both ends of the belt in the right. Whoops, sorry about that. And open that leg out to the right. And then back up to center. One more time here. Foot towards the nose. And then release that right leg. And we'll get ready for the left side. So left foot comes into the belt, reaches up to the sky. Right leg can extend. And then we find our place here where the leg bone can just settle into that hip socket, settle into the earth. And the back of that left leg from hip to heel, get some lengthening. And then we'll take both ends of the belt into the right hand and start to tip that leg. So you could also keep the knee bent here and take the knee into the right hand instead. And bring that over to the right. Keep both shoulders on the earth and twist. And then all the way back up to center. And take that belt in the left hand. Open that leg out to the left. Come back to center. Release the belt. Release the legs. And see how that feels. Legs spread out on the earth. You can wiggle, can do whatever movements call to you. Perhaps another pose is due. If you'd like to do a bridge or a happy baby or another twist, go for it. Otherwise, you may be feeling just perfect right here. And you can transition into the final pause of Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. Choose a position that feels right to your body. And start to notice, start to watch the breath again. Inhalations and exhalations. And those microscopic pauses at the transition points between the breath, the inhale and the exhale. The exhale and the inhale. how can you incorporate a pause? A pause in your day, pause in your life, or even in between thoughts and reactions. Pausing is mindful, and it's natural, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Watch how nature pauses, how it ebbs and flows, and watch how the pausing is always productive on some level. I thank you so much for taking the hour out of your day and sharing with me. And I hope you thank yourself for the productive pause that you took out for yourself. I hope you have a wonderful day. Love and light to you all.